What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the channel. Well, we just got the gameplay reveal of the reimagined Dryad, or the Warden, in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Let's not waste any time and hop directly into the loadout. Now, first things first, we already know that the Warden's primary attack is going to be a melee cleave, so it's going to be very similar to like the melee range of the Monk. So if you get your Monk out and play around with it a little bit, this is going to be roughly the cleave range of the Warden as well. Now, the Warden's alternate or secondary attack is going to be dropping that seed on the ground. This is going to be upfront damage in a small AoE splash when the seed hits. It doesn't continue to do damage. You drop it, it does the damage up front, and then it just sits there. Then, of course, if you go over and pick the seed up, it's going to regenerate 15% of the Warden's mana. Now, this seed, when in Wrath form, is going to grant increased damage and movement speed for 5 seconds. This means when you pick it up, the Warden themselves is actually going to get that increased damage and movement speed. So while playing actively, you'll be able to drop seeds. If you're in Wrath form, you'll run over and pick the seed up, you're going to get the 15% mana regen. Additionally, you're going to get the increased damage and movement speed for 5 seconds. Now, there is a cooldown on dropping these seeds. It is very short. However, it's questionable whether or not you're going to be able to stack them. That was one of my first questions about the seeds and the damage buff. Will they stack? And I believe when you drop a new seed, the old one might expire. On stream, they were dropping the seed, picking it up before they dropped another one. So we can't quite tell if there's going to be any stacking involved. And then the second ability is going to be the Wrath form itself, which of course is going to change all of the attacks and defenses. Now, once again, it's hard to say how long you're going to be able to keep this Wrath form up. We will have to see how that goes, and if you can sustain it just by dropping the seeds. Will the seed cooldown be lower than burning 15% of the Warden's mana when you're in Wrath form? Now let's hop right on over to the defenses. The Roots of Purity, first things first. This is going to function just like the Dryad's tree in Dungeon Defenders 2. You put it down, it is a small blockade. Additionally, it is going to provide the building zone for the Warden, so you're going to have to place your defenses inside the range of these Roots of Purity. Now, we didn't really get to see them in action a whole lot with the Wrath form and the damage that they do. Also, what is in the game right now is a work in progress. There's been no balance passes or anything yet, so none of the numbers and scaling that we saw today will apply when the Warden launches. Now, the Roots of Purity will be the base. That is defense number 1. Defense number 2 is the Wisp Den. The Wisp Den, it appears like it's still going to need a little bit of work, but the main thing, I think, is the bees in Dungeon Defenders 2 are seriously bugged. The AI on them is just god-awful, and it looks like they're going to be able to completely avoid this with the DD1/DDA target priority settings. So we shouldn't have those AI issues with the Wisp Den like we did with the Hornet's Nest in Dungeon Defenders 2. The Wisp Den didn't get featured a whole lot in the reveal. It was on the other side of the map where Lalta was playing, so we didn't really get to see these in action on enemies a whole lot, just a few hits on the dummy itself. Now, the Beaming Blossom. This is one that not many people seemed really excited about, but I personally am super stoked about it, particularly if you're going to play active in Wrath form. The Pierce on this seems really, really good. This is defense number 3. It does have a reload time, which, you know, reload times on any towers are always a little bit suspect with how useful they're going to be. However, as long as this little reload time is going to be lowered with the defense rate stat, I don't think we're going to have a problem here, and the Beaming Blossom should be a pretty fun little toy to mess around with, no doubt about it. And then defense number 4 is the Shroomy Pit. Now, the Shroomy Pit was all the rage. Everyone watching the stream seemed very, very excited about this, and it is the reborn or rebirthed slimes from Dungeon Defenders 2. These, however, are going to run out and explode. It appears that they don't like different elevations, so you're not going to want to put these up on a rail or anything. However, they will run around corners, so you can place them in a way where you can run around to where the enemies are present to get your kills in. The Shroomy Pit definitely looks super fun, and I think is going to be pretty darn popular as far as the Warden's defenses. It seemed that way based off of the stream here today. No doubt the Shroomy Pit is going to be beast. Now, remember as well, besides the explosion, if you're playing the Warden actively, the Shroomy, when it explodes, if you're in Wrath form, is also going to leave a damage over time effect on the enemy, so you're going to get a little bit of a dot and a little more damage drain there. The Sludge Launcher is the kind of the crowd control type defense from the Dryad here. It's going to launch that sludge ball. It does do a large burst of damage to the initial target hit and slows them. And then the sludge ball itself explodes, passing that slow around to other enemies in the area. Now, this tower, it appears to attack really slow. It's a 7 DU defense, so it's a little bit expensive. Personally, I think this one is going to need a lot of fine-tuning to really come into play. We'll have to see, of course, when the game launches and we get our hands on it. Now, in addition to the Warden and the Warden's gameplay reveal, we also got a peek at a new map. Now, Chromatic did confirm today that the new acts are going to be 4 maps total. So it's going to be 3 campaign maps and then 1 encore or bonus map. Where Act 1, 2, and 3, of course, is 4 campaign maps and then the 5th bonus or encore map. So Act 4 will be a 4-map act. 3 of the maps will be returning fan favorites, and we got a reveal of the 3rd returning map here today, and it is the Foundries Forges. This was also Unholy Catacombs from Dungeon Defenders 2, and definitely a map that we all knew was coming already. It was in one of the trailers earlier this year. Additionally, there's an image of it posted right on the Steam page right now and has been this entire time. So we kind of knew this map was coming. It is finally revealed. This is actually the bonus map of the tier, which leads me to some questions about the whole lore with this entire episode, as it appears the first 3 maps are going to be this forest-based theme, where the trees are changing from spring into autumn, and then the end of it, we get a big old forge burning up all the natural resources we just gained. I'm very excited to see exactly how the lore is going to play here, and what is up with that. We will find out soon enough. However, they did run through the Foundries and Forges and showed us a little bit about the map. There's 2 big, large lava-type molten death pits, and these, clearly, you're not going to want to go jumping in. So we have 3 of the 4 new maps coming in Episode 1 have now been revealed. Additionally, we've got 1 of the 2 heroes that are coming have been revealed as well. Now, if you like what you see here and you want to start planning now for when the Warden comes to the game, you can start farming up those fusion armor pieces if you're an endgame player. The roots or walls are going to be ancient armor. The wisps are going to be guard armor. Those lovely little laser beam blossoms are going to be militia. The splody shroomies are going to be minor, and the sludge launcher will be primitive. Now, of course, they may change these around between now and then. However, the defenses are listed off: 1st defense, 2nd defense, 3rd defense right now, and we can plan ahead and farm up some of these sets. I know a lot of people probably already have many good militia pieces and minor pieces that are just sitting in their inventory right now, not even being used. So you can probably get ready to put those to work. The defenses I personally am the most excited about and anxious to check out are, first off, the blossoms. I love me some laser beams, and I definitely want to check these things out. Now, the shroomies, I think, are a given. Little mushrooms that charge enemies and explode. I mean, how could you not love it? You know, that's just going to be a super cool defense. And then the wisps as well. I still want to play around with those. They didn't get a lot of action today. However, they could end up being extremely effective. So I'm looking forward to that wisp, the blossoms, and the splody shrooms. There is no doubt. Now, Chromatic did confirm that next week there will be another reveal of even more new info. So we're going to be getting lots of info revealed until this update for Episode 1 actually makes it to the game. And then at the same time, they're trying to work on getting the Switch and the PlayStation consoles both set and launched. So no dates quite yet. I would guess it's probably still going to be a month to 2 months away. I mean, I think a month is actually probably even too early. I think under 2 months might be a little bit more realistic. So this is not an update that's going to be here next week. There are still several weeks worth of content to be revealed before we get the Episode 1 launch. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the Warden gameplay reveal that we got here today. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.